This podcast is certified fresh. Freshmediaworks.com.
Welcome to the Montgomery ISD Athletics Show, where each week we share conversations about everything that makes MISD athletics so great. Montgomery ISD, in partnership with families and community, will graduate all students with the knowledge, skills, and leadership necessary to thrive as productive and responsible citizens. Athletics play a vital role in student success, promoting physical and mental well-being while developing essential life skills like teamwork, leadership, and resilience that benefit students far beyond high school. The Montgomery ISD Coaches Show is fueled by EAG Automotive, East Texas's MVP since 1977. With 8 locations and a winning lineup of new and pre-owned rides, they bring the heat with hometown hustle and high-performance service. EAG Automotive, where East Texas drives to win.
With 60,000 fiber route miles across 20 states, we deliver reliable solutions. We prioritize customer service to build better relationships and a better Texas. Consolidated Communications. Let's build a better network.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Montgomery ISD Athletics Show. I'm Chris Daly. I am joined today by Coach Rhett Gresham, the boys track and field coach for Montgomery. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. We just got through a little district track action. We actually hosted the district track meet here at Montgomery ISD Stadium, and had a pretty good showing for the Bears track team. So doing really well. Nice.
So talk to me about that. The being able to host the district meet. That's kind of a big deal.
Yes, it's for us and for our kids, I feel like it's a major advantage. Yeah. We get to practice on that track and on those facilities every single day. So it definitely is advantageous, but it does involve a lot of people. It involves a lot of planning as well. I want to give a shout out to Coach LaPlante and for all the help that he did in getting us get that set up and kind of coordinating that, making sure all of our facilities are in a good spot. And then Coach Grant Cooper as well, really supporting the track group and the track team. And, we joke all the time. He always, no matter what, no matter when, if we're hosting a meet, he's going to go set the hurdles and be in charge of the hurdle crews. So it's great to have his support and Coach LaPlante's support and all their help because it is a big undertaking. But obviously a huge advantage, and we love hosting at our place.
Yeah, I love that. Let's talk about the team. You're far enough in the season that you've seen the kids that have developed. As there's have to be some surprises, and then some ones you were counting on that are doing great. So just give me an overview of the team, and then we'll break down some individuals.
Yes, sir. So as I mentioned, we did host that district track meet this past week. The team as a whole finished 3rd overall in the district, scored 92 points, which was something that we were really, really pleased about. When I talked to the kids about it, I mentioned if this was one of our other sports, basketball, baseball, volleyball, top 4 teams in the district make the playoffs. And so, from our eyes, that's kind of a playoff track team to finish 3rd in the district meet. We had 9 events qualify for the area track meet, which will be going down this Wednesday at Huntsville. And so we were really, really pleased about that and excited. Anytime you can push kids on, push events on to the next meet, it's a big deal, and it's our goal to just keep those kids running as long as possible.
I love that. And you mentioned it being a quote-unquote playoff track team. Explain to people who maybe don't understand how it is a little different, how it's more of an individual advancement than a team.
Correct. So in track, kind of the way that track works, the top 6 places in each event score points, with first place scoring 10 points all the way down to 6th place scoring 1. And then each round, starting with the district track meet, the top 4 finishers advance to the next round to the area track meet. Then from the area track meet, the top 4 finishers advance to the next round to the regional track meet. And then at the regional track meet, it's the top 2 that go to state. So
Nice.
big cut down there from that regional meet. But all those points combine and they add up. And at the end of the day, at the end of the meet, they get a overall team total. And, it's always our goal to be the champion at the end of the day. But a third place overall finish is definitely a big time finish for us, especially in the district that we were in, as it's so competitive and everything.
Yeah, no doubt. And let's talk individuals now. Let's start with the seniors because this is their last run. Should be peaking out for them.
Yeah, so we had 9 seniors this year on our track team. And this is my 4th year coaching as the head boys track coach. So I got to see these guys grow up from as freshmen all the way up into their senior year. It's been a really, really fun group to watch grow and mature. I'll just kind of name each one of those guys off and talk a little bit about them. So we had Blake Brown. Blake, and I can't talk about Blake without talking about his twin brother, Landon. The two together are distance runners for us. And both of them, they've ran in the 1600, 3200, 800 throughout their careers. Andre Castro is another distance runner for us. And Andre has really progressed over his career. Kason Cryer is a kid that runs our 4x4, which we'll talk a little bit more about it in a little bit. Jordan Cotton, another senior for us. Jordan is a 5-event competitor, which is very, very special to be able to compete in 5 events. That's the max that kids are allowed to compete in. Landon Wedgeworth is a kid that had a ton of potential, was kind of sidelined from an injury his junior and senior year, unfortunately. Then we had Seth Wilson, which was a jumper for us. Preston Williams, a pole vaulter who's done some really special things for us. And then Jackson Young Davis, who is a thrower for us, a discus and a shot put thrower. And really, like I said, a very special class that do things the right way and have really helped kind of change, I'm not going to say change the trajectory because this track team's been a solid track team for a really long time before I got here. But those guys really help uphold the standard of this team for sure.
I love that. And let's talk about the rest of the team because, the impulse here is as you finish with, area, regional, and state, you're thinking, okay, what's next year? What is the cupboard bare? So what's coming up?
Yeah, so, I guess I'll just go ahead and use that kind of talk about our area qualifiers.
Sure.
We mentioned that a minute ago about how you want to get guys out as much as you can. We had 9 events that got out.
Wow.
Of those, yeah, we were pretty impressed by that. Of those 9 events, we had 4 seniors out of those 9 events. So it's really a pretty young group.
Yeah.
I mentioned Jordan Cotton a minute ago. As a senior, he got out in 3 of his 5 events. So he had a really impressive day. And then my other senior, Preston Williams, the pole vaulter, he was able to advance. He actually won district in the pole vault. He also is our school record holder in the pole vault. He broke that record this year with a jump of 14 foot 6 inches. And we're hoping for him to be able to get that again, this week at area. So I'm hoping he can continue moving on there with that. And then our discus thrower, Jackson Young Davis, he had a huge day at the district track meet. His personal best going into the day was 138 feet in the discus. He threw it 150 feet and won the district championship. So a major progression for him, a guy that really peaked at the right time this year. But and then we have Kason Cryer, who was one of those seniors. He's on the 4x4. Kason is a kid that has been a part of our 4x4 team for the last 2 seasons. He actually he was a part of the team last year that made it to the regional championship, and something that we're really proud about. This is my 4th year as the head coach here, and our 4x400 relay is advanced to the regional track meet. The last 3 years, they've made it to the area meet now 4 years in a row, and we're hoping they can continue to move on to that regional meet this week. But we have a great group of young guys too. Our junior class is really strong. A large portion of those other guys that are advancing, moving on, are juniors. We had Baylor Johnson that's going to be on the 4x400. Luke Pyro is a sprinter for us. Luke finished second in district in the 100-meter dash. He is 0.01 hundredths of a second off from breaking the school record in the 100. So that's something he's trying for this year. Hopefully we can get that out of him this week at the area track meet. We have a sophomore, Ryan Simonik. He runs the 400 and he's on that 4x4 as well. He actually ran a sub 50 400 for us at the district track meet, which was big. It hasn't happened here at Montgomery in a long time. He ran a 49.8 in the 400. So we're hoping he has another good day at the area meet. And then, last but not least, I have to talk about my freshman. We've got a pretty special freshman distance runner in a kid named Jonah Harris. He was the cross country district champion as a freshman. He won the 3,200 meters as a freshman the other day at the district track meet, and he finished third in the 1,600. So, he's a really special kid. I foresee a lot of really big things in his future. But even aside from those guys, those are just the guys that are qualifying for area. Our 4x100 and 4x200 team, on both of those, on the 4x100, it was 4 underclassmen, and the 4x200 were 3 underclassmen. So, overall a pretty young team, but our seniors that we do have are pretty special. So
yeah,
it's a good mix this year.
No, I love that. And talk about your athletes. Are the majority of them multi-sport athletes? Because this seems to me like a sport that all the other sports want their kids to be involved in.
Yes, so we do have a large portion of multi-sport athletes on our track team. We've got kids. Obviously, probably the largest sport we pull from is football, just because the timing of the seasons work out really well together. Between that fall and the spring. So we have a large portion of football players that are also on the track team. And then we do have Ryan Simonik that I talked about. He's a baseball player, which that's a little more unique of a situation. Yeah. Unfortunately for the district track meet, Ryan, with all that weather that was going on, Ryan had a district baseball game on the same night as the district track meet, which is tough to do. Obviously he had to make a choice, and we don't want kids to have to do that. But he had to in that case. But yes, we have a large portion of multi-sport athletes for sure. And then, all of our distance kids, they're cross country and track. So, it's definitely, we kind of have the mindset. We want our kids to go be competitive. I think that being competitive and being in a competitive setting is going to make them better in all aspects of what they do throughout all sports. And so, anytime we get the opportunity to get a kid from another sport to come out and compete, we're all about it.
I love that. And you sort of alluded to the help that it takes to put on an event or to put on a season. Talk about the parents and their involvement in the track and field program.
Absolutely. We're blessed at Montgomery High School as a whole to have excellent parents. Our parents are very, very supportive of everything that we do. It really helps make our jobs as coaches much easier. And in the track program, it's no different. We've hosted this year. We hosted 4 track meets at Montgomery ISD Stadium. To be able to put those on, it takes everybody. And so our parent group is very, very special. They're always willing to step up and sign up and do whatever is needed to help make this thing go. And so, it's really a blessing to have the great parents that we do have in our program. And I'll tell you this much, the meets that we host, you can ask around the Houston area. That hospitality room that we put on is always the best in the area for sure. It keeps teams coming back.
Nice. I love that. Cool. Well, gosh, Coach, I want to thank you for sitting down and sharing some time with me, some of the insight. Best of luck at area. I will be checking in with you later in the school year to see how you're going. Hopefully we keep on moving forward.
Yes, sir. I'd love to tell you we got 9 kids headed to Austin for the state track meet. So hopefully we can make that happen.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Coach. At the Woodlands Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, they want kids to thrive, not just in school, but in sports and in life. Pressures like anxiety, ADHD, or even the stress of competition and injuries can hold them back. That's why their team offers specialized care, including sports psychology, to help kids manage performance pressure, bounce back from setbacks, and build confidence on and off the field. They provide complimentary consultations, so call today. Call 281-528-4226 or visit addwoodlands.com because every student deserves the chance to thrive.